What's up, everybody? This is Gamer Boy,
I'm White France.
I'm Chris Bandy.
and we're going to be talking about our 2024 Big Ten men's basketball tournament predictions. We're going to start with the first game, Chris. Rutgers, Maryland.
Yeah, so I have Rutgers winning that game. I mean, it's not much to say about it, so just have Rutgers advancing to the next round.
Yeah, I got Rutgers also with that.
Well, I'm switching it up a little bit. I have Maryland winning behind the power of Jameer Young and Julian Reese. Jameer Young, I've seen him play in person, and that little dude's a dog. So I got Maryland winning. Then for the second game, we have Michigan versus Penn State.
I have Penn State winning that game. They always play well in the Big Ten tournament.
Michigan versus Penn State. I have Michigan. Yeah, they play well all the time, So I'm just gonna go with them.
Yeah, I have Penn State. I think Juwan Howard sucks as a coach, and I just absolutely despise Michigan. Probably my least favorite team in college basketball. So give me Penn State. And then we'll move up to the top of the bracket here with Minnesota versus Michigan State.
I have Minnesota winning that game. They've been hot all season, but they barely lose to the good teams. So I feel like if they can barely win some of these games, they can make it far.
I've seen Michigan play. I like what they do. I think they can win a ton. So I'm gonna go Michigan State here.
Yeah, I have Minnesota advancing. I saw them play not too long ago. They gave Illinois a game. It was like 90 to 106 or something.
Yep.
And that Cam Christie, the freshman, he was going right with Terrence Shannon, who's a projected lottery pick, and so I have Minnesota winning behind the power of their freshman.
Okay.
So moving to Rutgers and Wisconsin, I have Wisconsin winning that game. I don't feel like Rutgers can make a Cinderella run in the Big Ten tournament this year, so I'm going with Wisconsin.
Yeah, I had Rutgers and Wisconsin playing in this matchup, and I also have Wisconsin winning this one.
Yeah, so I have Maryland and Wisconsin, and Wisconsin, they started the year off hot, but
Ranks number 7 at one point.
yeah, they just continue to drop, and I think they lose this game to Maryland, and I think they don't make the tournament this year, honestly. So yeah, I have Maryland advancing. Then if we move down the bracket, we have Ohio State versus Iowa.
Yep, I have Iowa winning that game. They've been hot recently, so I'm picking Iowa on that one.
I have Ohio State. They've also been hot recently, and I just like the way they play basketball. They're good.
Yeah, I have Ohio State advancing as well. Like Wyatt said, they've been hot, and behind Bruce Thornton, I think he just needs to get going for them in this tournament for them to win these games. So give me Ohio State. Moving down, I have Penn State versus Indiana.
I also have Penn State and Indiana, and I have Penn State winning that game because Penn State always makes their run in the Big Ten tournament. And if they're playing Illinois, I'd probably pick them over Illinois still, but I'm going to go with Penn State.
I got Michigan playing Indiana. Now, how much I hate Michigan, I just got a feeling that they're going to beat Indiana. So I'm going Michigan.
Yeah, I have Penn State advancing over Indiana. I think, like Chris said, they can get hot at any time. And behind Ace Baldwin and Puff Johnson, I think they do that. And, Puff Johnson has his experience going on runs. So give me Penn State. Then we move up. Are we at
Minnesota and Purdue?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have Minnesota winning that game because,
hate Purdue.
I hate Purdue, but I like the way Minnesota plays, so I think Minnesota can pull off the upset.
I got Michigan with Purdue playing. I think, AJ Hogard and, Walker, their guard. I think they're going to give Purdue a really good game until the fourth quarter. Then Purdue's just going to slip away and take it.
Yeah, I have Minnesota versus Purdue. And unlike Chris, I have Purdue advancing. I feel like Ryan Garcia actually can match up well with Edey, but at the end of the day, Edey might be the best player in the country. Probably is the best player in the country.
No one can stop that guy.
Yeah, behind him and Braden Smith, I have Purdue advancing.
And moving on to Wisconsin and Northwestern. I obviously have Northwestern here. Wisconsin's been cold, and they can win these terrible games at the start, but I don't feel like they're going to make the tournament this year, so going with Northwestern in this one.
Now, I also went with Northwestern against Wisconsin. Northwestern's beat some really good teams, but they've also lost to some pretty questionable teams too. I was thinking Wisconsin can maybe come out with a win here, but I don't think. No, not really. No, not really.
Yeah, I have Maryland versus Northwestern, and behind the power of Bo Buie or Boo Buie, excuse me, Northwestern's all-time leading scorer, I believe, as of recently.
Yep.
I think he gets going and they take down Maryland. Then moving on to Ohio State versus the best team in the country, Illinois.
I have Iowa and Illinois in that one, but they played a couple days ago, and Illinois destroyed them, but Iowa got close at one point. But I have to go with Illinois in this one. I got to stay loyal.
I got Ohio State and Illinois. I feel like this is gonna be another close game for Illinois, but Illinois comes out on top.
I think Illinois struggles shooting early against Ohio State, but eventually start to put it together. And I think it's going to take a big Domask game against Ohio State.
Absolutely.
And I have Illinois advancing.
I got a Coleman Hawking game going crazy for that. I think Coleman's gonna smack some.
That's a good part about Illinois is that we have
it's not the
so
same
many
person.
different guys that can come at you. We have hopefully an All-American in Terrence Shannon and maybe a sleeper All-American.
Yeah, 2 All-Americans.
And Domask.
If they start to get a run, put our bench in, they'll go crazy for us, honestly.
I'd like seeing Moretti get in the game more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So moving on to the next game, I have Penn State, Nebraska in this one. And the Cinderella run's ending right here. I have Nebraska winning this one.
I got Michigan playing Nebraska. Michigan, it ends here. Juwan Howard gone after this game. Nebraska's going to win it. They're lefty. Tom, whatever his name is, however you say it, he's going to go off for them, obviously. Nebraska wins.
Yeah, so I have Penn State playing Nebraska, and behind the power of, I believe they call him the Asian Steph Curry, Kisi Tamanaga, I have Nebraska advancing. I love how that kid plays, and I think it's such a fun story and watching him play. So we get to see him play another round, and Nebraska advances. Then moving on to Game 11, Purdue versus Northwestern.
So I actually have Minnesota and Northwestern in this one, and I'm going to go with Northwestern in this one. I feel like they're going to make it to the championship this year, so we're going with them.
Yeah, I got Purdue versus Northwestern. I had Northwestern's, they have 4 players out there their guards, top scorers, all shooting above 40% from 3. I think they're going to come out and beat Purdue for the 3rd time to move on.
Yeah, so I have Purdue against Northwestern, and I have Northwestern advancing. Maybe again because of little bias, because I also hate Purdue. Probably my second least favorite team.
Purdue hate club over here.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Miss Julian. But give me Northwestern. And then moving now to the bottom side of the bracket, we have Illinois against Nebraska.
Yep, I also have Illinois and Nebraska. And I always have to go with Illinois in the Big Ten tournament. So I'm going with Illinois. Moving on to the championship game against Northwestern.
Yeah, Illinois versus Nebraska. I'm going with Illinois. I love Illinois, but I feel like this game's going to make me sweat through the TV a ton. I feel like I'm going to get really angry at what's going to happen through the game. So, Illinois advancing.
Yeah, I have Illinois versus Nebraska as well, and got to stick with the boys. Got to go with the hometown team,
yeah.
home state team. Give me ILL.
So, in the championship game now, I have Northwestern and Illinois, and going with Illinois, but they always have their scary games against Northwestern. So there's definitely going to be a lot of bad moments in that game, but going with Illinois winning the 2024 Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, Northwestern versus Illinois. We've beaten them by 30, and then we've also lost by like 5 or 6. It was a really tough choice, but obviously I got Illinois winning it.
Yeah, home state matchup. Northwestern versus Illinois. Illinois is going to have to get going. We beat Northwestern at home and then lost to them away, right? I think we have to stop Boo Boo, which that's what we did not do whenever we were away.
Guard the 3-point line. Play some active defense a lot.
Probably put Terrence Shannon on him. That's what we did last time, though.
I like that matchup. Yeah.
They might change things up, but I think Shannon is one of the best defenders in the country. And if he can stop Boo Boo, we're going to win that game. So give me Illinois as your 2024 tournament champions. So we all had Illinois. That might just be a coincidence.
Yeah. Coincidence.
Hopefully Illinois comes out on top, though.
Now, if I wasn't an Illinois fan or like biased a little bit, I would probably go the route of Northwestern or Purdue winning it. To be honest.
Now that we've picked our tournament champions, I think we can also talk about what teams we think are going to make the tournament. I think there are 4 locks for sure,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I think there are definitely a couple teams that could sneak in there.
I feel like Iowa's been good recently. They're going to be a low seed, obviously, but I feel like they could sneak in there possibly. But obviously, Illinois, Purdue, Nebraska, and what's the other one? Northwestern.
Mhm.
I feel like they're all locks. So
Yeah,
I feel like there could be potentially 5 or 6 teams going to the tournament this year from the Big Ten.
I feel like Iowa, maybe Indiana, and maybe Wisconsin could all be one of those 5,
Yeah.
12 games, obviously the 12 seed, or 4, 13 games where they give the higher seed a run for their money.
Yeah, I just don't think Indiana will make it this year. They've had a pretty
Yeah.
upsetting year, and Wisconsin's been down recently, but they'll probably make the tournament because of their run in the early on in the season.
Malik Renew is just hard to stop. That dude is big. I remember when they played Illinois, he gave us some problems. Luckily, I think we got him into foul trouble, which
Yeah, we did.
is kind of what won us that game,
Yeah.
honestly, because we really don't have anybody that can stop him besides Danger, I guess. But I don't think Danger was playing.
Or play Hansberry and it just foul.
Yeah,
Foul.
that's what we did against Purdue. Hansberry went in there, got like 4 fouls in not a lot of time.
Pulled me against Auburn.
But I think that's going to wrap up our segment on the Big Ten tournament and a little bit of the March Madness tournament. So thank you for watching. This is the salty side of things.